Hello and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Vanessa. This is Vanessa CX Beauty, and today we are going to be swatching, using, and reviewing the brand new Wet n Wild Ice Cream Bee palette. This is she. She features 16 shades and retails for $9. And this was released along with the Coffee Cat eyeshadow palette, which I do already have a review for. It'll be up here in the cards if you guys do want to see that. But this is the ice cream palette, and it's supposed to smell like ice cream. And it smells like candy. It doesn't necessarily smell like ice cream to me. But today we're going to be swatching it, using it on the eye, and then I'm going to let y'all know what I think about the palette. So if you're interested in seeing how this palette performs, just continue watching. So we're going to start off with the swatches, swatching the first row. So this is the first row swatched out. On to the second row. This is the second row swatched out. On to the third row. This is the entire third row swatched out. Onto the final row. Okay, and this is the entire palette swatched out. This color story is definitely more unique than the Coffee Cat palette, which is more of a neutral brown based bronzy palette. This one is more colorful, but it also does have very wearable shadows in it. But the one thing that I will note, that as I was swatching it, there are more of the ColourPop like Super Shock shadow consistency shimmers in this. So today, instead of, trying it with my regular dry brush, I did get a tip to use a wet brush with these kinds of formulations, because there were two in this one. But in this one, it feels like half of the shimmers are that squishy, creamy, more Super Shock shadowy formulation. So that is something to note in terms of the formulas within this eyeshadow palette. But now it's time to use it on the eyes. Okay, so I do have my P. Louise eye base all over my eyes. First shade we're going to dig into is Raisin the Roof with my Morphe M507. And we're going to create a little swoop on the crease. This shade has a star next to it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it has a star right there. And I just looked up what the star means, and it means that it's not for use around the eyes. So I think that that is a very interesting thing to note. This shade is not for use around the eye. I'm gonna still use it around the eye, but that's something to take note of, because I didn't even notice that before I bought this one. And the Coffee Cat palette doesn't have any shades that are not supposed to be used on the eye. So just a note for y'all. I mean, it's super pigmented, don't get me wrong. Alright, so now with my Morphe M506, we're gonna try to blend this and blow it out a little bit more so the line isn't too harsh. Okay, so digging into You Got Soft Serve with the Morphe M506. We're gonna tap that on our upper brow and also blend that into Raisin the Roof. so now we're gonna cut our crease with the P. Louise eye base and the Olimar packing brush. And this cut crease is gonna follow through all the way to the end of the eye. So we are back with the creases cut, and the first shade we're gonna dig into is Brain Freeze. But I'm gonna wet my brush because this formulation is a more soft and creamy formula instead of a powder formula. So I'm gonna try wetting my brush because dry brushes don't really fare well with this kind of formula. Going into Brain Freeze, and I'm gonna hit the middle of my lid with this shade. It's depositing, but it's not as like shimmery as I thought it would be. I'm positive it'll probably be shinier with a finger because that's what this formula works best with. And then wetting our brush again because the second shimmer that we're gonna go in is also the same formula that I do not like the most, but we're gonna dig into Milkshake It. Oh, that picked up really well. And we're gonna put this on the outer portion of our lid. Oh, that one looks pretty. Ooh. And then for the inner part of my lid, we're gonna go into It's Sherbet Day with a dry brush because this is a powder-based shimmer. So it don't need no help. I don't know why companies are doing creamy shimmers when powder shimmers are the bomb. Look at that. Dry brush. This was the most intriguing shade because it had like little swirls in it, like sherbet, but it's realistically a very light gold. And so this is what we have thus far. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and the other eye so we can do the lower lash line together. Okay, so we are back for the lower lash line. We're gonna go into You Got Soft Serve with my Morphe M507. And we're gonna place this on the inner half. Then we're gonna head into Any Given Sunday and place this on the outer half. To tie this whole look together, we're going to go into Malt With You with my Real Techniques packing brush. And we're going to place this on our inner corner. This is a duochrome white blue shimmer. It's actually pretty interesting. And this is the finished look using the Ice Cream Bee eyeshadow palette. And y'all, I do love the look that I created. Wetting my brush did make a difference. The only thing is that I don't see myself reaching for this palette way too often. So if asked what my favorite out of the two palettes that they came out with would be, it would be the Coffee Cat palette, just because it has it has 4 shimmers, 2 of which I would definitely use all the time because they are powder based, and 2 that are cream Super Shock shadowy based. And then this one also has 2 powder ones, which are this one right here and the orange one, but then the rest of the shades are, well, the rest of the shimmers are like that creamy, more hard to work with a brush kind of formula. And then the mattes, of course, are pretty and beautiful, but I don't know. Would I repurchase this? No. If I were to go back in time and go to Ulta, I would probably just pick this one up. But I do like the look that I created today, and I would use it again. I just don't know and don't think that I would reach for it too often. But that is my opinion on the Ice Cream Bee. If you do like those kinds of, you know, creamy formulas, then this might be the palette for you, because I know a lot of people do like that formulation. But me, I guess I'm a basic person because I like powder-based shimmers and powder-based mattes. So that's why I more steer towards the Coffee Cat. But nonetheless, it's $9. It's not like crazy expensive, so I do not regret purchasing it. I do like that I tried it. And then in terms of scent, This scent kind of bothers my nose a little bit more. I do have a very sensitive nose. It is like very, very candy-like, not necessarily ice cream-like, but my nose definitely does feel a little bit more like irritated than it was with this one. This one is a more calm espresso-y kind of scent, so that is something to take into account with if you do have a sensitive nose like me. But that is all I have to say. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.